Over the past year, we've seen benchmark home prices in Canada continue to increase, double digits in a number of cities. Vancouver, which has been in the $1 million club for a couple of years now, was just joined by Toronto. And this got me thinking, what does the benchmark priced house look like in a number of different Canadian real estate markets? So on this episode of Bald Prairie Real Estate, we're going to go through a bunch of Canadian cities and see what the benchmark price house looks like and how much it actually is. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Bald Prairie Real Estate, where I educate you about Canadian real estate. If you're new here, my name is Matthew Pfeiffer. I'm a real estate agent from Regina, Saskatchewan. Now, housing affordability is a hot topic right now in the media, and it's important to everybody in Canada. That's why I started this series of videos on affordability in the Canadian housing market. The first one I did, we compared average household income to the benchmark price in Canada to see if cities are actually affordable for the average household to buy. There's some interesting results in that video. I think you should check that one out if you haven't already. It's going to give some context to this video as well. So I'm going to put the link to that in the description of this video. And right here should be a pop-up card right now that will take you directly to that. But this got me thinking, what does the benchmark priced house actually look like in a number of different Canadian cities? The inspiration for this was I was scrolling the internet and I saw one of those articles. We've seen them all before where they say, look, the average price in Toronto or Vancouver is $1 million and this is what you get for that. And of course, it's basically an uninhabitable shack that nobody would live in and somebody's just gonna bulldoze it. And then they'll go say, okay, for that same amount of money, here's what you can buy in XYZ city. Now, I think these are a little bit silly, but heck, they're fun. People like taking a look at it. I just wanted to put my own spin on it. So instead of just saying for $1 million, what can you buy in Canada in these different cities, I went and took what is the benchmark price in a bunch of different cities and what can you expect to buy. So I challenged my real estate friends from across Canada. I said, give me good recent sales. Sales is a big one here. They have to be the sold prices because a lot of times these articles you see on the internet, they're just showing you the asking price. And if this market has taught us anything, asking price and what the house actually sells for can often be two different things. So I said, send me sold listings that I can show people and make sure they're representative of what that benchmark price, what a buyer buying a house in that city can expect to get for that kind of money. And they came up with some really good examples that I think you're really gonna like. But of course, like I said, these are a little silly and I don't think they're necessarily fair, just showing you one house. And of course, location is so important. Prices across Canada obviously are very diverse, but from one end of the city to the other, they can be completely different. Location, location, location is what they always say, right? My city where the benchmark price is $300,000, in some neighborhoods, you couldn't buy a house for $300,000. Other neighborhoods, that would be way too expensive. So to say the benchmark price in Regina is $300,000 and here's what you get, it isn't exactly entirely representative, but they're fun to do. So let's check out and see what you can get. But we always got to start these off with another terrible joke. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but before my wife met me, she used to date a clown. So you can say, I've got some pretty big shoes to fill. Okay, somebody's got to have a better joke than that. That was terrible. If you've got a joke I can use in a future episode of Bald Prairie Real Estate, put it in the comments below. The composite benchmark price for the Greater Vancouver area is $1.1 million. Now, what I've got here are some examples right from the city of Vancouver. Got a single family home and a condo to look at. The single family home benchmark price in the city of Vancouver, $2.4 million. So I grabbed an example here. Now this one's kind of unique because you get two houses for the price of $2.4, well actually it was $2.6 million it sold for, but you get two houses for the price of one. This has got a 2,200 square foot main house and a 1,200 square foot secondary house, and they're both set up to be duplexes. So it'll be great for a multi-generational family or somebody who's looking for that additional rental income to help support those mortgage payments. And I know you guys are probably screaming at me in the comments, this isn't a single family home. I know it's not a perfect example in terms of just one household, but it's still a single family home. And I think this is a good example because at a benchmark price of $2.4 million, Well, you're probably going to need some additional rental income to qualify and make those mortgage payments. So that's why I picked this one. Now, let's look at condos, where the benchmark price for a condo in the city of Vancouver is $800,000 roughly. And that's what this one sold for, about $800,000. It's pretty cool though. 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, built in 1983, 850 square feet. It's got underground parking in a good location, good close to commercial services, parks, the whole works. Pretty representative of what a benchmark price condo looks like in the city of Vancouver. Of course, Vancouver is the most expensive city in Canada. Why don't we look at some more affordable cities and see what the benchmark price looks like there? When I did my Canadian housing affordability video, I talked about how Calgary is in a really unique position. They've got the highest average household income in Canada and one of the more affordable house prices in comparison. So, what does that benchmark price look like in Calgary? Well, it's $500,000 for a single family home, or about a quarter of what you'd pay in Vancouver for a single family home. And what do you get for $500,000 in Calgary? Well, you get a 1996 built 2-story that's 1,800 square feet and an awesome location. You got the Bow River a couple of blocks away in one direction. In the other direction, you got the Mackenzie Lakes area, and of course, double attached garage, finished basement, finished yard. You kind of got it all in a place like this. The asking price was $520,000. It sold for $516,000. What do townhouses look like in Calgary? Well, the benchmark price is about $300,000. And you get a unit like this, built in 2004, 2-story townhouse with an attached garage. It's a corner unit, 2 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Again, the location is really good. Asking price was $299,000. Sale price, $289,000. While we are seeing lots of multiple offers in Calgary, there still are houses to be bought on a little bit of a discount below asking price. And of course, Calgary, basically your backyard, is the mountains, awesome city to live in Canada, and they've got some fairly affordable housing too. I'm probably a little bit biased, but I think Regina is one of the best cities to live in Canada. You can get anywhere in 15 or 20 minutes across the entire city, and house prices are really affordable. Single family homes, $275,000 is the benchmark price. You get a house like this, 1,000 square feet, on a corner lot in a great working class neighborhood close to parks, schools, communities or commercial services. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 6,000 square foot lot, big enough to build a double detached garage on it. You kind of got everything in this. It's been updated as well, new windows, shingles, mechanical, you name it, this house has got it. $270,000 for a house like that in Regina. What about townhouses and condos? Townhouses, benchmark price, $230,000 for a townhouse in Regina. You get a townhouse like this, 1,100 square feet with a single detached garage. These were built in 2012, 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom in a really nice neighborhood in Regina with some fantastic parks and great restaurants and a brand new school just around the corner pretty much from this guy. That garage, of course, important in Saskatchewan winters. Apartment style condos, those are benchmark prices about $190,000 for that. So, you know what the best part of living in Regina is? You don't have to cheer for the Blue Bombers either. The benchmark price for a single family home in Winnipeg, $350,000. When I phoned up my friends in Winnipeg and said, send me a good example of a single family home in a good neighborhood, this is what they sent me. 1,000 square foot house, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, oversized double detached garage, a ton of mechanical updates throughout the house and the lot. 6,400 square feet. You just can't replace that. Of course, close to schools, parks, close to the river, you kind of got everything. You can't replicate this location. That sold for $380,000. And Winnipeg, much like the rest of the prairies, is really affordable for all different price categories and types of houses. The worst part though, you gotta cheer for the Bombers if you live there. Have you subscribed to Bald Prairie Real Estate yet? If you haven't, do that right now and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. We've talked about Canada's most expensive real estate market in Vancouver. Let's talk about Canada's largest real estate market, in the Toronto real estate market. And they have seen some pretty crazy price increases, 20 and 30% over the last year. And of course, that is getting a ton of media attention. So when I phoned up my friends in Toronto, I said, send me some good examples of some single family homes in the city of Toronto. and condos, because of course that's what everybody thinks about when you think of Toronto itself. Let's start in single family homes here. The benchmark price, $1.2 million for a single family home. Now, this one here is actually a row house, but it's really hard to find single family homes close to the downtown area in Toronto. This one's 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, completely renovated top to bottom. You got that detached garage, you've got a nice yard. The asking price was $1.06 million, sold for $1.4 million. So that's a single family home in close to downtown Toronto. Of course, one of the first things you think about in the Toronto real estate market is the condo market. That's been the hot thing in Toronto for a long time. Even though they did see a little bit of a decrease in 2020, let's look at them there. $650,000 is the benchmark price for a condo in Toronto. This one here, 1 bedroom plus a den, and is about as close as you can get to waterfront because it's right across the street, 700 square feet, and you've got a ton of amenities. I'm gonna read these off. Rooftop terrace, jacuzzi, gym, yoga center, 24-hour concierge service, a viewing deck, party room, games room, and more. Underground parking, I believe, as well. Yes, underground parking, close to all your transit services. Asking price on this one was $660,000, sold for $670,000. So that's what you get for the benchmark price for single-family homes and condos in the city of Toronto. These types of videos or articles that you've seen on the internet where they say, hey, for the average price in Toronto, which is $1 million right now, here's what you get. And usually it's an absolute rundown piece of crap house that is completely uninhabitable. It's going to get bulldozed anyways. And then they look at other cities in Canada and say, this is what you'd get for the same amount of money. Well, of course, in Fredericton, you're going to get quite a bit different house than what you would get in Vancouver. Now, it's fun to do, but they're kind of silly because looking at one house in one city isn't really representative of the entire city. Because like they say, location, location, location. What you can get for the benchmark price of one area of the city is going to be completely different than the other. My city, benchmark price, $300,000. In some neighborhoods, you can't buy a house for that price. There just doesn't exist. There's no houses for that price. And in other neighborhoods, that's twice as much money as you'd have to spend to buy a house there. So yeah, these articles and these videos are fun to do, but they're not really that representative of what you're going to get in those cities because the benchmark price, what you can get in one area is not accurate to what you're going to get in another area. So they're fun to do. If you want me to do another one with some different cities, let me know. If I should do another one, in which cities? Let me know in the comments below. If you're a first-time home buyer and you got first-time home buyer questions, don't worry, I got you covered. Right here is my first-time home buyer playlist. Going to answer all of your first-time home buyer questions. And right here is what the YouTube algorithm thinks you need to learn about next on Bald Prairie Real Estate. As always, guys, thanks very much for watching.